Even though the cryptocurrency market is currently in decline, there are changes happening in the background that many are overlooking. These are not just small adjustments. We're talking about deep transformations within the financial system itself. I want you to really focus on this because I believe we're being distracted while something big is being built behind the scenes. At some point, the famous switch off could happen, the idea that everything could change in an instant. And for those of us in the XRP community, the number 589 holds a symbolic meaning that goes far beyond price. Right now, XRP is hovering around 2.02. It's crucial that we reclaim the 2.08 support zone today. That level is key, and we'll need to see how the daily candle closes. The entire market is red, so XRP isn't an isolated case. This is a global crypto correction, and while it may seem normal, I still believe it's driven by manipulation. We're getting used to it, but we shouldn't ignore the patterns. The U.S. Senate has just voted to end the Trump-era tariffs on Canada. This is big news because if tariffs start getting lifted for one country, they could start disappearing for others too. I don't believe the U.S. plans to keep these tariffs forever. And if they're lifted, markets could begin to recover just as quickly as they fell. Ripple has also done something unusual. They typically unlock tokens on the 1st of the month. But now, on the 3rd, they've released an additional 1 billion XRP, 500 million in one transaction, 300 million in another, and 200 million in a third. This isn't common, and it might suggest Ripple is preparing for larger moves. Remember, the more XRP they release and sell from escrow, the more decentralized the network becomes. Ripple's control over the supply weakens, which strengthens the long-term vision for XRP. This is all happening while key institutions in the U.S. are clearly shifting. The Financial Services Committee in the House of Representatives just declared that it's time to modernize the U.S. payment system. The OCC recently confirmed banks are now allowed to hold cryptocurrencies, deal in stablecoins, and participate in blockchain networks like the XRP ledger. The Federal Reserve also acknowledged that banks are capable of serving crypto customers. Even Eric Trump, son of former President Donald Trump, criticized traditional banking for being outdated and inefficient, saying it makes no sense that banks still operate from 9 to 5, 5 days a week. These sentiments are spreading, and behind the scenes, changes are moving fast. The FDIC has also recently updated its stance, now allowing banks to engage in crypto-related activities without needing prior approval, as long as risk is properly managed. All of this happened quietly, while everyone was distracted by tariffs and price dips. And here's the final piece. Ripple is now cited directly in ISO 20022 documentation. In diagrams that show how interoperability between Swift and blockchain will function, Ripple is mentioned alongside Stellar and others. Bitcoin and Ethereum, although referenced, are not ISO 20022 compliant and thus are not suitable for payments in this new system. XRP, however, is fully aligned with the standard, making it a key bridge between legacy financial systems and blockchain infrastructure. While the market fluctuates, these foundations are being laid silently and rapidly. Ripple and XRP are no longer future potentials. They are present players in a transition that's already happening. If you found this video insightful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. See you in the next one.